On this episode of Speedaddixxgarage, we're gonna take this and transfer it to this. Stay tuned. If you like turbo stuff, Supras, EGs, V8 turbo power 240s, you might want to consider to subscribe. This year I'm trying to make some big things happen. I want to make a panel that goes around this. So I have snatched a piece of cardstock, a big piece of cardstock. My girls at Girl Scouts, love you girls. And what we're gonna do is try to make a template to cover up all the extra gaps that we have made in this carbon fiber hood. All right, right here, I tried to use that dirty finger smudge trick to make a template, didn't work. So I said, hey, let me use this pencil and trace from the inside. Worked out pretty nice. I tried to get nifty and I'm actually adding a 1/2 inch around the center section. I'm doubling it up. Basically trace this out, not realizing that, hey, y'all can't see a daggone thing using pencil. I decided to secure it with some painter's tape. And then I realized, hey man, if I shine a flashlight through this, it's kind of transparent. Maybe I can trace out the screamer pipe and the up pipe. Right here, I'm showing you my Harbor Freight light. It has 3 settings. This is the light on the top of it. I slipped it right into the up pipe thinking that I can transfer through it. And of course it didn't work. So I went back to the old school way, the long drawn out way. I took a sharp X-Acto knife or razor blade and basically cut it, lifted it, cut it, lifted it, kept testing it until I was satisfied. Then I brought it back to the table, used the scissors, and basically got everything dialed in to my fitting. 이 게임 안에서는 모두가 평등해. 참가자들 모두가 같은 조건에서 공평하게 경쟁하죠. 바깥 세상에서 불평등과 차별에 시달리는 사람들에게. All right guys, now that I got my template made out, I got everything finalized. I got enough meat all around the edges so that when I go to install it, I can use a rivet to do so. This is what I'm gonna transfer this piece to. I went to my local metal supermarket. So I got this piece of stainless right here for, that's right, $2. I took my measurements before I got there, and this particular piece is gonna be perfect. So now I'm gonna trace this out. And then I need to determine if I want to add my artistic ability to it or if I just want to keep it, you know, raw and basic like that. Look like I got a little more trimming to do. All right, let's try to open this hood again after making a slight modification. Ooh, woo. Tap mud is hot to death, boy. Hot to dagglim death. All right, fam, that's gonna do it for the screamer pipe. I have decided, actually both me and Daniel both decided that we're gonna leave it like that. I know a lot of people was asking why isn't it not like kind of flat with the hood? To be honest with you, I kind of wanted it to look like that. I mean, it kind of got a different look. It's kind of got almost like a bullhorn slash type deal going on. And most importantly, it's different. So we're gonna roll with different around here. Next up, we're gonna be installing a front weight plate on this turbocharged K. All right, fam, now that we have the screamer pipe, the up pipe, and the little plate that goes around both of those on that carbon fiber hood done, We're gonna tackle the last project on the EG, and let me show you what that project is. Wow, what we have here is what they call a weight plate. This is a weight plate from a company called Odyssey Fab. This plate is designed, of course, when you got front wheel drive, you got turbo, you're making like 700, 800, 600 horsepower, you're gonna be spinning. And actually, if you add more weight to the front of it, it actually gives it better traction. So what this deal is designed to do is not only add weight based on the fact that it's made out of some raw steel, but it also has a port right here on the side of it that you can unscrew, and you can fill this whole section with basically whatever you want. Daniel said that it's recommended to use lead because lead is a lot more weight. I think he said an additional 150 pounds over top of this is what you can get out of it. And then also another little key feature on this deal is that you can run traction bars, which of course, traction bars are definitely necessary when you're making power, that and a limited slip transmission. I'll put a couple pictures here, but they actually want you to cut out this whole lower section of the radiator support, and then that's where that bar actually fits at. With our setup, we ain't doing all that. We're not gonna fabricate this. So what we're gonna do is we're actually going to extend this section on this side and that side of this front weight plate. What that's gonna do is actually bring it down, and it's gonna tuck up right up under here. It's gonna work out in our favor because obviously the oil pan is the lowest point of the car, and that weight plate, I've already set it up that the weight plate is actually a little bit higher than this, but almost level. And I mean, be honest with you, I'd much rather him, and I'm sure Daniel would much rather, if he have any kind of collision or hit anything, he'd probably rather hit it with the front weight plate instead of hitting it with his oil pan. So we got a few things like that, this, and that needs to be removed so that we can have a flat surface to work with. All right, now that we got that tab knocked off, it's time to go ahead and work on this. Again, the where this is supposed to sit at, actually supposed to sit up a little bit higher, up where the radiator support used to be at. Because it sits lower, we need to extend this. So I've already made a reference mark. This is where I want to make my cut on both sides, and then I want to add a little spool piece in there. So let's go ahead and cut that off, and then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna use to weld into place. All right, guys, this is what I'm gonna use to weld into place. It's basically the same thickness. I got this from Lowe's, and all I'm doing is taking the width of this, basically transfer 2 inches to here. Basically, this thing is 4 inches in width. So if you cut it in half, that gives you both pieces. From this point to this point, it's about 3 inches and 3/4. I really don't know where it needs to be. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bolt this up first, then we'll set this up and we'll make our final measurement so that we can get this length correct. And that's where they mount up at. I didn't show you before, but there's 3 threaded holes up here on both sides of the frame rail. So now I just need to find the right thread pitch. All right, I got a distance measured out, 1 inch and 3/16, so it's not as long as I thought it was gonna be. So I need that piece and that piece. I think I overloaded the breaker. All right, I basically cut these 2 in half using the bandsaw. I wanted to make sure that I didn't mess with the dimensions. So now I need to mark this up, and then I need to bevel both ends because when I do weld it all together, I want to make sure I get the most penetration as possible. Penetration always gets a home run. Penetration will put a smile on everybody's face. All right, guys, this is what we're looking like with 2 bolts bolted in on the bottom of both sides. It's got a little bit of rock to it because I don't have that front bolt in it. About that much right there. Got a little bit of a gap. This is now even with the oil pan, so if he ever has a collision, he will hit the weight plate first. We got, you know, about a pinky finger gap here. So matter of fact, let me put that 3rd bolt in right quick, and then if everything looks good, we can go ahead and weld this up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the finished product. I got my extension put in there. I hit it with the flap disc, and then I also hit it with my dual action sander. But overall, it worked out good. I'm gonna go ahead and install this, and I'm gonna give you guys my opinion on this product. All right, Speedaddixxgarage, to give you my conclusion on the install of this Odyssey Fab front weight plate. In this particular case, 9295 EG hatchback. I'm not a fan of it. I like the construction of it. It's real nice. It's super heavy duty. I like the fact that they have this little bung that you can actually install whatever you want as far as the weight. But as far as having to purchase something like this and they cut up your whole lower radiator support, what if you're like us and you're a customer where you don't want to cut up your lower radiator support? I don't know if they have an option on their website or not. I may look that up before I even post this. But to be honest with you, what's the purpose of buying an item like this and then you have to turn around and pay somebody else if you can't do it yourself to fabricate it, to make it work on your application? Not everybody have tools like as far as a welder. Not everybody have the experience to extend something like this. And to be honest with you, not everybody want to do something like this. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button. And in the meantime, we'll check you on another episode with a new project or another job to do.